at the end of the bed, you push a button and like a TV would come up. It just seems like so. It had a bidet. Hey guys, this is Colin from Blackjack Apprenticeship, and I'm back again with my good friends Dusty Pinkchip and David, aka Loud and Often. And I want to talk a little bit about comps, how we get them, and just share some of our fun comp stories, because it's not very often you can get a couple card counters on camera to share some stories. So just to start off, the only way you can get comps is playing rated. And so that's like a huge thing you've got to decide. Sometimes at boot camps we'll talk for quite a bit of time about, is it worth it, is it not worth it? We've got several videos in the video course about it. I don't really want to talk about that. I just want to talk about one of the perks of card counting, which is the comps. And I'll just start off by saying, when I was first learning how to count cards at Freddy's Club in Renton, and I found out I could get for free their tempera battered chicken strips. It went like, as a broke 22-year-old, not broke, but whatever, a cheap, just out of college kid, it was like changed my life. That they would let me have their tempera battered chicken for free while I'm playing a game that in theory, I don't think I was playing a winning game at the time, but in theory, take their money and get the tempera battered chicken. And you guys, I don't know if you had comps early on, but then when we're betting the thousands and winning and losing tens of thousands, the comps go on to a whole other level. So I'll just open it up to you guys to share some of your favorite comp stories or what comes to mind with the comps that you got as a card counter.
For me, my favorite and biggest comps were always airline tickets.
Oh yeah.
My favorite
was it actually a ticket or airfare?
It wasn't airfare reimbursement, but it would be, they would send me an offer in the mail, which is like, we will give you airfare. We will give you 3 days in the hotel. We will give you these chips.
Yes.
The sort of 1, 2, 3 punch was nice. And I always like a comp that comes before I'm asking for it, because then I can guarantee, like, okay, I can get on the plane. They can't back me off before, So those are some of my biggest. I never felt really great at asking for comps, but I did feel great once I figured out how to distract them by asking for comps. The food was always nice and the rooms were always nice. But one of my favorite times, because my comp stories my favorites are always the silly comp stories. Yeah. So there was a trip where, this was after the movie Holy Rollers was made, and it was kind of showing at film festivals around the country. And at one film festival or another, the director of the movie couldn't go, and I stepped in as the liaison. I'm the representative of this movie. And so I got to go fly out and go to this film festival. And while I was waiting for things to start, a day or two before, I played the casinos. And I was at one particular casino, and they had some stupid comp promotion, which was for these Wizard of Oz bobblehead dolls. And it's something that I would never care about. Yeah. But I was like, wouldn't it be interesting if I went to this, Q&A session at the film festival and said, I've got casino comps for anybody who asks a question. Yeah. So I made it my point to win as many of these stupid Wizard of Oz bobblehead dolls. And by the end, I got like 20 of them. Nice. And I felt like, yes, victory. I took them to the Q&A, and most Q&As are usually like 1 or 2 people raise their hands. But this one, once they learned that the card counter, who was in the movie representing this team, was giving away these truly earned in the casino comps, they were the hands were up. They were asking all kinds of questions, and I was able to give away these stupid, ugly, Wizard of Oz bobblehead dolls.
That probably went over better than handing out tempera battered chicken to people that ask questions.
Yeah, I felt like it was more of a comp because I got to make people happy with. I could see them, the joy in their face.
Awesome, Dusty. What comes to mind for you?
Like David was saying, the best stuff was always like airfare, time in the casino, like pay for part of my trip, please. Yeah. But I think the most valuable comp I ever got was a MacBook Air.
Yeah, I remember that.
Which, of course, I sold. It belonged to the team. Yeah. But I got like a percentage of it. But the coolest comp, like you, David, I wasn't good at getting comps. Yeah. I just wanted to do my job and play cards and go home. Yeah. so I didn't get a lot of the stuff that other guys got.
Yeah.
But every once in a while, there was this guy that me and David were talking about who would just show up and be like, strawberry chocolate. This casino host's method of taking care of the big players in this middle of nowhere casino was like, bring you a milkshake.
Yes.
So I got my fair share of milkshakes, but one day he brought me something truly awesome. And I didn't know what was going down when it happened, but he walked up and he was like, do you like rocks? And I was like, as a matter of fact, I had a rock collection as a child, like most kids, I guess. But yeah, sure, why not? And he pulls this rock out of his pocket. And I'm like, what's that? And he says, it's Ellensburg blue. It is only found in 2 places in the world. And one of them is this valley near Ellensburg. And one of them's in China. And it forms in like this special way so that it's like
A rare rock.
local gemstone. And
Wow.
I'm like, can I look at it? And he's like, yeah, check it out. And so I'm looking at it and stuff. And I was like, that's awesome, man. Thank you. That's cool. And he was like, keep it.
Wow.
And I was like, sweet. I got a rock for my rock
a
collection.
necklace or
No. It's probably not
a
jewelry
brooch?
quality.
No.
But
Okay.
You didn't
It's
try
one
to
of
put
my
it in the betting
titles.
circle?
right?
Double down.
Yeah. With a green chip, you know.
You guys bring up an interesting point. Both of you said, well, comps weren't really, you weren't experts at it or whatever. There were some people that were better at it. It makes you think of Brian and Amy, who are on our team. They were like the king and queen of comps. Like, it's an art form. And they had mastered the art. They were getting $5,000 gift cards to the forum shops at Caesar's Palace to just show up and pick them up. I mean, not like every day, but every couple months they get it. And I remember they reached a point where they get $1,000 offer and be like, it's not worth it. And they tell me this, in hindsight, like, what were we doing? But at the time, they're getting, these exorbitant comps. And I think probably for you guys, maybe, why would you say you didn't put more effort into the comps while you were playing?
For me, I feel like in the early days, I was so focused on playing and just the real basics, room and food, that I didn't expand my thinking. And then when I finally did, it was like it was because it would distract the pit boss. So if I could get the pit boss busy running around, calling to get me whatever the restaurant and this and that was meaningful to me. Whereas when I would ask for the big stuff, they would either say no, or it would happen really quickly, and it wasn't as valuable to me.
Yeah.
Because I got turned down 90% of the time. But if I could get them running around, those were the kind of comps that I was focusing on.
And the fact you have to play rated, I would think that really, at the levels and the profit levels you guys had, at least in places like Vegas, that was a bit tough.
Yeah, for sure. And there's also, it felt like more of a gamble, honestly, because those comps aren't mine. Like, they belong to the team.
Yeah, we had that structure.
Yeah, they weren't earned with my money.
Well, you got a percentage of it. And
Yeah.
we tried to be fair, but the reality was, I think our team, I should go back. I've got, all 20,000 plus hours of sessions in Excel spreadsheets for the duration of the church team and, 3.2 million in profits. I should figure out like how much was from comps, because we itemized it in our results. But
yeah.
I would think hundreds of thousands in comps, and it was just part, it was like we worked it into the pay structure. But some people, it was like they were more motivated, by the comps than by just generating EV as a card counter.
I think another byproduct of, for me, playing lots and lots of hours, I was such a known quantity that I had to kind of try and stay under the radar. And comps situations are based on like, this person's here, there's no reason why they're ducking and dodging, and is based on hours and play. And I never knew if I would be at a casino very long, just based on heat and backoffs, that I couldn't invest the kind of time that normal gamblers are investing to get those big comps.
Yeah. Well, it obviously worked for you guys. I'll share a couple quick comp stories. The first one was my first time I ever went to Vegas. I got absolutely destroyed. I remember I was down $40,000 and got backed off from all MGM properties in like, I'd been in Vegas for like 3 or 4 hours. But, you know, and I actually got all sorts of comps along the way. As I'm losing, I'm asking for more and more, and I'm getting more and more. But here's the story I want to tell is that I get backed off from all MGM properties. The best comp I ever got was my next trip to Vegas. There was just poor communication between whatever, like table games or surveillance or whatever, and then the hosts. So I'm coming into Vegas and they'd been sending some stuff in the mail, and then I book it and I brought my wife with me, and we get this suite, and I remember it had, at the end of the bed, you push a button and like a TV would come up. It just seems like so, it had a bidet. And I was allowed to order, you know, they said, well, don't really push it beyond $200, but like every meal I could order a couple $100s. So we would order room service first thing in the day and get like breakfast for like $50, and then like expensive bottles of liquor that we gave to friends and family, just, you know, why not? And so my other story is that there was a casino that I had figured out, they were comping me at a very high level. And, you know, for those that aren't aware, there are some people, their entire advantage play is comps. So either you play a break-even game or even a slightly losing game if you're making more off the comps. And I wasn't doing that. I couldn't play a break-even game. I was playing a winning game, but I was really trying to milk these comps, and they were letting me do it. They were letting me play, and it's the only time I ever bought a gift for a host. My wife and I are coming in, and this is like my 4th or 5th trip to this casino, and he's always putting me up, you know, and providing, you know, every trip was worth at least $1,000 to show up. So we buy a bottle of wine, and it's, I don't know, $50 or something that seemed to me just crazy.
Yeah.
I show up and I'm like, hey, where's Francis? You know, where's my host? And they're like, oh, he's not around. And for 4 days, I keep asking. Finally, the 4th day, they say, yeah, he's not working here anymore. So I kept the bottle of wine. But I was getting 2 suites, one for my wife and I, one for my brother and his wife. We went bowling for free. We watched movies at the casino for free. All of our meals were free until I had a session where I won over $20,000 in like an hour. And they looked me up. There's Colin Jones, known card counter, manager of the church team, or I think they called us the Washington Count team or whatever. And it all came crashing down. But it was fun while it lasted. So anyway, guys, hopefully this is fun for you guys. We'll learn a little bit about comps. These guys have done plenty well without the comps, just beating casinos for hundreds of thousands of dollars. But it is a perk, and it's something that you can take advantage of and use to your advantage and get Wizard of Oz bobblehead dolls and tempera battered chicken and Ellensburg blue rocks. So hope you guys enjoy.